Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Pharmacist Eradri's Corner and my name is Eradri Yelari. So today's video is per request from one of us. The person asked me to do a video about the structure of pharmacy in my school and my experience in pharmacy school. So pharmacy is a faculty on its own in Niger Delta University. I attended the prestigious Niger Delta University in Bayelsa State, Wilberforce Island. So pharmacy is a faculty on its own, and we have about 6 departments in pharmacy there in Niger Delta University. We stand on our own basically. When I was there was no uniform, but immediately I left. Right now, the faculty of pharmacy wears ash and white. Yes, the pharmacy faculty wears ash and white. So moving on, if you gain admission into the school to study pharmacy, in 100 level you usually do the general courses like math, chemistry, physics, biology, English, and then you do some other general courses like some GST courses, general studies unit. You do their courses, and then but the main courses you have to make sure you pass: chemistry, biology, physics, math, and English. You have to pass these courses as a pharmacy student, because if you do not pass it, you have to repeat the whole of 100 level, and that is not fair. It's kind of fair because it's in the rules of the school, but I mean, like, on the person's emotions, the person's plans, and everything, everything is just going to affect the person. But if the person is able to get a grasp of himself or herself and move on quickly, the person is able to get themselves back. So moving on, and in 100 level, usually students can wear what they want because every department comes together. But in 200 level, when you move to 200 level, they move you from the general studies you were having, where you have your classes in the main campus or the new site. They move you to the pharmacy faculty as a pharmacy student. So you are separated. Medical students go to medicine and surgery department, biochemistry goes their way, engineering, everybody just goes their way. There's a separation that happens. So in 100 level, you're usually privileged to have this communion with other departments. Medical students, you have communion with nursing students, med lab students, biochemistry students. So it's actually a bit of a mixture of the crowd, and it's fun because that's usually the only opportunity. No, okay, in 200 level for nurses and for nursing students, med lab scientist students, the med lab science students and pharmacy students, they also still have an opportunity to bond, but in very few occasions. But the real, even medicine students actually for biochemistry. So the real occasion for the bonding is 100 level. So you get to experience people from different departments, and it's fun actually. You get to bond, and after that, usually in 200 level, immediately you pass your 100 level, there is a separation that happens. People are moved to their different departments in their different course of studies. So you move to the pharmacy department. So in 200 level, when you move to the pharmacy department, you do some core pharmacy courses and still do a bit of general courses. As I said earlier, you still have an opportunity to bond with nursing students, med lab students, and then medicine students. So even no biochemistry, just nursing students, med lab students, and medicine students. When you're doing biology, anatomy, and physiology, these 3 courses are the general courses in 200 level that you do with other of your colleagues. So when you're done with that, when you pass that, because some of those courses are prerequisites for some courses in 300 level for pharmacy students. So when you're able to pass all your pharmacy courses, you do about 2 courses from the pharmaceutical chemistry department, you do 1 course from the pharmacognosy department, and then you do 2 courses from the pharmaceutics department, the practical pharmaceutics and the theoretical pharmaceutics. So when you're done with that, and then you pass those courses plus your general courses, because if you do not pass a course like biochemistry, you cannot move on to a course like pharmacognosy in 300 level, because there are a lot of structures and a lot of biochemistry involved in 300 level pharmacognosy. While if you do not pass your 200 level, pharmaceutical chemistry, then you cannot move on to the 300 level pharmaceutical chemistry, because the foundation needs to be built and things need to be understood. We also had the practical aspect of the pharmaceutical chemistry. We had organic pharmaceutical chemistry and we had physical pharmaceutical chemistry. So moving on, after you're done with that, and then you move to 300 level, then you begin to do pharmacology. 2 kinds of pharmacology. We had two different kinds of pharmacology. So you do the two different kinds of pharmacology from the pharmacology department. There are two different courses on their own, and then you have to pass physiology from your 200 level before you can do pharmacology from your in your 300 level. So when you're doing your pharmacology, you have to pass, one is a 4-unit course, and then one is a 2-unit course. So you have to actually pass this. The 4-unit course is so important because it's like it will either drop your CGPA or it's going to increase your CGPA. It's a two-way thing. Then when you're done with 300, you go to 400. So you continue with CTICS, and then when you get to 400 level, you discover that the CTICS, the practicals and the theory, they are no longer different courses. They come together. So you now do one pharmaceutics, and then for practical pharmacology and oncology, you just continue like that. Cognosy, in 300 level cognosy, you actually the practicals is separate from the theory. So you do a practical pharmacognosy and then do a theoretical pharmacognosy as well. But in 400 level, these things come together, and there's no practical pharmacognosy in 400 level. So it's actually interesting. And then in 500 level, you start doing clerkship. Clerkship is where it's also a part of a clinical pharmacy, and clinical pharmacy also you start it in 300 level. When you get to 300 level, there are about 2 courses in clinical pharmacy where you do, but when you get to 500 level, you start doing 3 courses in clinical pharmacy. One is clerkship, one is called clerkship. Clerkship is where you go for the experience of being a clinical pharmacist. You leave the school and you go to a hospital, and you go and you learn physically, like you go and learn practicals, like you see life experiences as a pharmacist. You try to solve problems. They give you presentation questions, and you go through the words and you see cases. You try to decode drug interactions and drug therapy problems from your prescription in the word, and you just do what a pharmacist needs to do. And I think clerkship, I know clerkship was quite fun for me because I went to the ward and I was able to decode drug therapy problem. I felt so glad that we're able to solve a problem and save a patient's life. So you're able to experience all of this, and you go through different units of pharmacy, the pharmacy profession. We have different units. Like there are so many things to do as a pharmacist, so many things. Pharmacy is not a boring course, just depends on how you look at it and how you decide to broaden your knowledge concerning pharmacy and use it to your own advantage. So if you ask me if I have any advice for anybody that is coming to pharmacy school or is already in pharmacy school, I would tell you that please start studying early. Make good friends, supportive friends, because at the end of the day, your friends will influence you. You know the thing where they said, birds of same feather flock together. Please do not believe that people cannot influence you. That is not true. That is so not true. You have to know that people can influence you in all ways. They can make you who you're not or who you are, or even make you a better person. It says that if you want to be a wise person, work with other wise people, because if you count 5 wise people, you'll be the 6th. But if you want to be a foolish person, work with foolish people, because if they count 5 foolish people, you'll be the 6th foolish person. So I would say again, make good friends. Make friends that would motivate you to study. Make friends that will help you see life in the right perspective. Make friends that would inspire you. Make friends that will uphold you, and they will help you. Also, I would also say you should start studying early, as I said earlier, because pharmacy is bulky. Some courses you have up to 7 lecturers, some courses you have up to 5 lecturers, and all this information in one head. And you have about 8 courses you're doing in a semester, sometimes 7. You're doing it all in a semester, and each course has nothing less than 3 lecturers. So imagine, some courses have 5, some courses have 7, some have 4, some have 5. Like there, I don't think, no, we didn't have any course there was no course in pharmacy school that had just 2 lecturers. It was always more than 2. It was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't even think there was anyone with 3, if I remember correctly. I hope I'm right. So you have to read all these materials. The courses are really bulky, and if you do not start reading early, dude, God have mercy, you cannot avoid failure. you're going to fail. Like in pharmacy school, you will shed tears. Pharmacy school will break you, it will mold you. Oh my god, jeez. The experiences are something else. So I would advise that you start reading early, make good friends. If you do not understand anything, please ask questions. Ask your colleagues, the ones that you see are getting a grasp of what's going on in class. If you do not want to walk up to your lecturer and ask your lecturer. For my school, lecturers were quite friendly, so it was easy to just go to them personally to ask what you do not understand. So I think you should learn to ask questions wherever you are, whichever school you are. Ask your lecturers, ask your colleagues, so you can understand. Because really in pharmacy school, if you do not have understanding, you can't really answer these questions that they throw you at exams, because some lecturers will turn these questions upside down. You can read these questions 3 times, you think you've gotten it, and then you read the 4th time and you're like, oh my god, it's not what this person is trying to ask me. So you have to make sure you understand what you're being taught, so whatever angle the question is thrown from, you can actually answer them. And you have to start knowing names of drugs. Names of drugs, classes of drugs, the treatments, and they are so important in almost every course. Those things just surface from nowhere, because of course you're the drug lord and you're supposed to have understanding about these things. There are possible interactions, there are possible side effects, and all of that. So it's like you really have to study. Like your life would entail a lot of studying as a pharmacy student. You have to study and study and study and study. Just know that the goal is that induction and that license, you get. So if that is your motivation, you will know that eventually you do it. And of course the grace of God is available for anybody who is ready to pay the price. So well, here I am. It was not an easy journey. I can tell you that right now in my life, if I'm faced with any difficult situations, time consuming situations, I always tell myself that if you can survive pharmacy school in Nigerian University, girl, you can survive anything. Like, you can survive anything. Nothing can bring you down. You have to just understand this and know the truth. Like, if I can survive pharmacy school, I can survive anything. Anything that comes my way, no matter how stressful it is. If I could survive pharmacy school, I can. I say that even to my colleagues at work. Right now I'm doing my internship, so I say that to my colleagues at work when things have gone really stressful. I'm like, guys, if we can survive pharmacy school, there's nothing we cannot survive in this life. And of course, it's the truth. For real, it is the truth. So I think that pharmacy is something that people should do. It's fun. Actually, not really. The school itself is not really fun because it's very stressful, but the people in the school, they are fun. You get to meet people, diversity of people, you get to rub minds with people, and then you get to have experiences. That part is fun, but not the school itself is so stressful. You have to study and study, but aside that, it's fun, yes. And then when you graduate, you are given a lot of options. If you don't want to work in the hospital, you don't have to work in the hospital. We have community pharmacy, we have hospital pharmacy, we have the industries, we have research. There are so many things to do as a pharmacist. So I hope you learned one or few things from today's video, and I hope you put into practice everything I said, because it was from experience. You should read. Those are the words of advice I would be dropping today. And shout out to all my lecturers in Nigerian University. Thank you for making me who I am today. You all contributed to where I am and who I am. When lecturers are teaching, most times they divert to words of advice, and then they tell you, because they have more experience than you do, so you get to learn from their own experiences. So thank you very much to all my lecturers. Thank you very much. And I did my project in pharmacology department. My project supervisor was Dr. Bariweni, and he was very kind. I think my project was that way because of my project supervisor, and of course Mr. James helped me as well. Mr. James, I doing shout out to Mr. James and Dr. Bariweni. Dr. Bariweni is God. I think he was one of the best project supervisors anybody could have. Like, guys, no cap. Like, he was one of the best project supervisors. I was interested in neuropharmacology, so he was my project supervisor. I did a project on a topic that says that coenzyme Q10 ameliorates metronidazole-induced memory loss. Yes, you heard that. Long-term use of metronidazole can actually cause short-term memory loss, which can return, but when it is used alongside coenzyme Q10, it actually alleviates that symptom of that side effect of metronidazole.